back to a new video. So in today's video I thought I would do a little mood with me, spend the week whilst we just like read books that I want to read. I don't have any like themed videos I want to do, and kind of just show you guys again another realistic reading week in my life to see like how many books can I read within a week. Spend some time tackling my August TBR because I've been flying through it and I have some exciting books I want to continue to read. So I didn't want to put like any stress on myself to do a certain video and like categorize those books into videos. So I thought I'd just do a mood with me, pick a couple to read, and obviously continue books I'm currently reading and just show you guys what I read in a week realistically. Of course, this is like a summer edition when I'm not working. I do usually work full time, but I'm on summer holiday, so it's not going to be as realistic, but I do have plans throughout the week. I have bits of editing to do, other things to film, plus just other things that I might be doing during the week. I might be going out, stuff like that. And yeah, I thought I'd just take you guys along with me through the week and we'll do some mood reading together. So I hope you guys enjoy. So in terms of books, so I'm currently reading this series, and the last book I'm currently reading is Vile Boys by Clarissa Wilde. I don't know the name of the series, I completely forgot, but I'm on book 3 already and I'm 80% through this book, guys. This book, bearing in mind, I started yesterday evening, and then the second book I read yesterday, and then the first book I actually read the day before. So I've been reading the series the past 3 days and I'm already on the last book. This is a Why Choose dark romance, and I mean this is dark romance. It's definitely up there with Hunting and Haunting Adeline in terms of the dark romance in it, and it's basically about one girl who in each book basically creates this deal with 3 guys. So I'm 8% through that. And then I also want to start Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan at some point today because I'm really enjoying that. This I was actually trying to finish in the morning. It's around 11 now, so I was trying to finish it early in the morning, and I wasn't really going to include it in this video, but I am mood reading, so this is the book that I'm currently reading. So my goal is to definitely finish this off because it's really easy. I literally flicking through everything. It's so easy to read. And then this one I'm really excited to get into. Now I'm like all smutted out because I've read 3 books that are like just pure smut. I'm actually excited and ready to read a book that has the emotional depth, and my goal for this week is to see if I can finish the series of this. I have this book, and then there's This Could Be Us. In my little corner over there, which is my little bedside table, I took some of the books from my TBR. So my TBR I usually keep in my little library office, but I decided to bring some of the books that I'm planning to read this week. I'm also currently starting a reread for Consider Me by Becca Mack. I think I'm a few chapters into that as well, so we might be doing some of that during this week, but I'm taking time to read that, kind of just like enjoying the reread process. But yeah, let's get to mood reading. I'm really excited to see how many books I could read this week. I definitely want to beat my target of 2.5 books I did in my last mood with me like realistic vlog, which was basically like a month and a half ago, so not that long ago. And obviously I'm really excited to see this one because this is me when I'm not working, so hopefully I should be able to beat that target. So yeah, that is it for now, so I'll see you guys in a bit. So guys, I am back and I thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update. Right now it is 5:45, so it's been about 6 hours since I last spoke to you guys. I spoke to you guys around 11:30 and I finished Vile Boys. So I actually started reading some of this around 4:30, I would say. yeah, around 4:30, because it took me quite a while to edit, and I watched 2 movies. I watched The Fantastic Four. I don't know why, I just couldn't find anything to watch, and I saw that and I was like, oh, I hadn't watched that since I was a child, so I thought I'd watch it and it'd be really good. And I also caught up to YouTube. But The Vile Boys, I really enjoyed this series as a whole. It is a very, like, not mid-series. I gave it a 3 stars altogether. The first 2 books I gave... Actually, the first book I gave 2.5, the second book 3 stars, and then this one definitely 3 stars. I love the way the story like ended, and seeing all like the characters together. As I said, this is a YTube's dark romance, and everything's linked. This is kind of happening simultaneously with the second book. I actually really liked Crystal and her personality, and it was quite an interesting read because in the second book something happens to her, so I was kind of wondering how it's going to be involved in this one, because it's the same time as the female protagonist in the second book is... Sorry guys, I just had to move myself because the sun decided to like direct straight into my room. But as I was saying, so in the second book it's based on Lana, and whatever's happening with her, Crystal's kind of going with her own plot line, and then it kind of shows them all together and how it goes to the bit what happens to Crystal in the second book. And just seeing that, I was very invested in the storyline. It had a nice, easy to follow storyline. It wasn't really complicated. It's so fast paced, this series. I don't think I've had like the emotional connection to these characters because I was actually looking for it for a little bit of spice, because the books I wasn't reading didn't have enough spice, or it didn't have enough spice. It was more like I was more invested in the plot line and the characters that I wasn't looking for that, but I was looking for something spicy, very easy to read. I feel like a lot of dark romance I don't get too invested in, so I finished that. Once I finished that, right now I've just started Before I Let Go, so I started listening to the audiobook whilst I got some stuff folded, and I've just done a chapter of the book right now, and I'm actually really enjoying this book. So this book features Jasmine and Josiah. These two were both married, but they get divorced. So the beginning, so like the prologue, it basically shows like it's in his point of view about how like they loved each other, and then chapter 1 starts off as them as their divorce. So they have 2 kids and they also run a business together. So far I'm really enjoying this book. I really like Yasmin and just the writing of Kennedy Ryan. I haven't actually read any of her books, so this is the first I've been introduced, and I just love the way she describes the characters. I feel like in a lot of black romance that I've read, the way these authors write about these characters, they just seem like the most gorgeous women in the world, or the most gorgeous characters in general. And just to see a book that highlights black beauty and black love is something that I'm always all for. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to see the progression of the storyline. It seems like from what I'm reading, Yasmin has some type of anxiety, and I want to see more of that and the reasons why, and kind of see how their relationship fell apart. So far I'm really enjoying it. Obviously I haven't read that much, I've only gotten a chapter in, but the first chapter was already 18 pages for the first chapter. But I'm going to give myself a bit of a break now because I do have a bit of a headache, so I'm just going to like probably watch something, or I might just have a little nap, and then this evening see if I can do another few chapters of this. So yeah, that is it for now guys. I'm going to stop talking. I'll speak to you guys in a bit. Let's carry on reading. So guys, I haven't actually spoken to you guys for 2 days now. Today is actually Wednesday and it's actually around 2:05, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, yesterday I barely did any reading. I was just in a let's rot in bed kind of day. I haven't done one of those since I was at uni, and I was just really craving one. So in terms of like my statistic, on Monday I read 96 pages of The Vile Boys, which I ended up finishing. I think I did tell you guys that I did finish it, and that's when I started Before I Let Go. I only read 18 pages of Before I Let Go, so I only read the prologue and chapter 1, and I was trying to do more, but obviously I couldn't just like, but I just couldn't force myself because of my headache. And then yesterday I tried to do a little bit of reading because I was like bed rotting and I wasn't feeling very well. I had a bit of motivation in the evening time, but I ended up only reading 3 pages because again I was binging YouTube. I don't know if I have a clip of it or not, but it's like I was watching something whilst trying to read this book, and it just happened that I was focusing on what I was watching instead, and I just wanted to lie in bed and not read. Especially paperback. I hate like lying down reading paperbacks. I don't know why, but today my plan is to get some of this book done because I really want to get into it. But also as well, you guys will be the first to see this and hear this, but on my Kindle, I have a special book that I also want to begin in this video if I can. So I've been lucky to get the Wild Eyes arc by Elsie Silver. I had the Wild Love arc that I read at the start of this year, I actually believe, and it was amazing. And I have the Wild Eyes one, which I'm super excited to begin. So this is the beautiful front cover, and then I've got a little bit more work to do, and then hopefully this evening I can tackle some of Wild Eyes, unless I'm really craving to read this one. But I'm so in the mood to get this one done and read it because I'm so excited for this book. It comes out next month. Obviously I got the arc, so I can't wait to read it, and it's on my Kindle, which is the best thing because I can just lie there and binge it all. So my plan is to get some of this done because I am enjoying it. I just haven't given my time to fully get into. I want to at least get in maybe another 100 pages to like really get myself ingrained into the story. But I am enjoying it. I love Kennedy Ryan's writing first off, and yeah, it's just really good. So that's my little update for now. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna get to reading, so let's continue before I let go and listen to the audiobook and maybe put some cozy music on as well, just to get into the mood of reading. But let's start reading, guys.
Did you get home late? Did you think about your ex today? I know that you've been trying to work on that. Did you feel lonely? Did you maybe almost call me? Did you bore your friends with stories like I have? 'Cause the last time we talked, didn't know how much to say. You said maybe we should talk less. It's more than not at all. I'm not saying I don't want this, I'm just terrified is all. Well, if it were up to me, we'd be, but darling, it's your call. So I guess that we should talk less. It's more than not at all. Things are going good. I played some shows, I read a book, and saw the dog we liked across the street. Random thoughts, 3 in the morning. I know you.
So guys, I'm about 100 pages into the book now. I'm on chapter 11, page 102, and Yasmin, I'm obsessed with her. I love her character. I love her aura, the vibes she's giving me. I could really relate to, like, I'm not married and I don't have kids, but I could really relate to the stuff that this book's talking about. TW, it does talk about depression and anxiety and grief. That is something that is the focal point. That is something that is the focal point of the storyline. And Yasmin, she's been through a lot, and something happens which had caused the breakup of Josiah and Yasmin. It was like an accumulation of different things, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to do any spoilers, but I really can understand Yasmin. I was saying before that I really wanted to know more about what happened, her story and stuff like that, and I'm starting to learn bits and pieces, and already I'm feeling very connected and very protective over Yasmin. I really want the best for her, and this book, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not liking Josiah at the moment. There's just something about him, and even though they both have lost so much together, I feel like he blames her a lot for his hurt when she was actually hurting herself. And yeah, it's just, I really love Yasmin. I love how Kennedy Ryan writes about her, how she's bringing this story to life and how she's highlighting certain stuff, especially amongst black women, and having such a strong black woman despite whatever she's going through and has gone through. And I just love Yasmin with my whole heart. Obviously we're only 100 chapters in and I'm already like addicted to this book. As I said, I needed that time because I didn't give myself time to actually get into the book. I read like a chapter but I had a headache, whereas today I'm finally been able to give it a chance. I also love the friendship vibes of her and her friends. I absolutely love it, and seeing friendships in general, especially female friendships, and seeing how friendships blossom as you get older. And I'm excited to carry on reading and seeing what happens. I'm gonna stop rambling now. I want to just read this book now. So that is it for now, but so good. I don't even know if we're gonna get to Wild Hours today, but I'm just gonna see how many pages I can get to. Right now it's around 3:30. I'm gonna have some dinner about an hour and a half, so I'm gonna carry on reading for about an hour and a half, see how much I can read. So yeah, that is it for now, so I'll see you guys in a bit. So my loves, I don't know how well you can see me, but I thought I'd give you guys an update in terms of reading. I'm sorry if the camera is a little bit shaky. I am trying to film this on my bed, so please bear with me. I might have to hold it as I'm recording. But today is actually Friday and I haven't spoken to you guys obviously since yesterday. I said I was going to give you guys an update, but yesterday was just a whirlwind. Obviously I was doing some work stuff and I just got swamped with that, and then I just like went into like a hole of watching Emily in Paris, and that is literally all I've been doing. I did do some more reading though, and in total on Thursday I read 62 pages, so not a lot, but got some way through the book. And then today obviously it's Friday and I haven't done actually any reading today until around like the past hour or so, because I had my best friend come over, so I've just been doing that the whole day. I was even out for a little bit. We went to the cinema actually. I went to watch It Ends With Us, which I actually really enjoy it despite all the controversy and stuff like that. I think they did a good job of portraying the book as the movie, and Blake Lively wasn't actually as bad as I thought at playing Lily, and I just really enjoyed it. So it was nice to go out with my friend and just like enjoy some time together. But right now it's actually pretty late. It's like 11 o'clock. It is 11 o'clock on a Friday, and right now I'm hoping to finish the book within the next like half an hour. I've got like 40 pages left. I started on page 292 and I'm currently on page 337, so not that long left until I finish the book. And this book has just put me through like a whirlwind of emotions. I'll speak more about it tomorrow when we're in natural sunlight, and I'm sorry if the quality is absolutely shocking right now, but yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. I absolutely adore Yasmin and Josiah. I kind of like him a little bit more now just because I found out some certain things, and this book is just very emotional right now. We're gonna get a lot more communication. People are finally going to be expressing how they feel, especially people that have seemed to have kept how they feel inside and not have told anyone. So I'm excited, and keen to see how Kennedy Ryan deals with this and how the characters deal with this. So that is really it for now. I've done around, I don't even know how many pages I've read. I think so far I've read about 40 pages and I've got about another 40 pages to go, so maybe about 80 pages I'm doing. And then tomorrow we're going to be starting Wild Eyes, which I definitely want to do, which I'm really excited for. But I'll give you guys like a proper talk about the book tomorrow when I finish it. But I'm loving it so far and I can't wait to read the next one, which is This Could Be Us. I also love the friendships in this book as well. But that is it for now. I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update. I'm going to carry on reading for now and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I was in my room when those fateful words light on my screen. You're trying to be tough, but you are more than I can breathe. I told you what I want, but words don't seem to hold my weight.
Morning guys, so today is Saturday and I thought I'd give you guys an update. So I finished Before I Let Go and I think I've read like 84 pages, I believe. Let's just go to where I wrote it down. 84 pages on Friday of Before I Let Go, and I finished the book. And I think I spoke to you guys, but I just wanted to give you guys like a proper review. I decided to give Before I Let Go a 4.75. This book was so beautiful, literally, as it's explained here, real, raw, magnificent. That is literally how I felt about this book. I actually wrote a few notes in terms of the book that I want to share with you guys. I wrote quite a lot. Like I finished the book and I just like wrote like a whole hefty section of text about this book. So this book features obviously Yasmin and Josiah. They're both divorced, and this book is about love and second chance, but it's also about grief and mental health, and it's something that's very important because I just feel like it's not highlighted often in books already, but also black romance and just amongst the black community, and I just love reading about it in fiction books. I could relate to, especially the mental health bit. When you're in that space, you feel like you can't come out of it and nothing will help you, but when you're out of it, you actually realize like how much strength you have to actually be able to find the light at the end of the tunnel, and that you will find it. And those times where you thought it would be better just to go, actually, like, you're happy that it didn't happen, it didn't work in your favor. And yeah, this story is just a story about, I don't even know, it's about grief, it's about life, it's about motherhood, it's about being a black woman, not even just a black woman, a black male. Josiah, he goes through a lot of growth. He was one that I never believed in therapy and stuff like that, and then he started going to therapy, and it's very important, some of the messages that we see in this book. For example, Josiah, he also said, I think when he was talking to Yasmin, he was saying that because he's dealt with so much loss in his family and in his past, he was always scared and feared that those that were still in his life, he was also going to lose them. So he would like push them away. He wouldn't really show how he's feeling. However, now it's made him realize that actually he cherishes those people even more because he's lost so much. Rather than fearing and holding back, he's not going to hold back. He's actually going to hold those people closer, cherish them more, because he knows they're even more important, because he's lost so much that he should hold on to them and not take them for granted, which I absolutely adored. But this book was just beautiful. The cover represents literally everything, and yeah, Kennedy Ryan, I can't wait to read more of her writing because her writing is just absolutely stunning, and I just enjoyed this book so much. I didn't give it a 5 stars because I was just not getting the 5-star feelings, guys. Like, I might do a video where like this video won't end until I get a 5-star read, because I've been getting 4.5, 4.75, but no 5 stars because nothing's just like hitting. I think like this book I really enjoyed it, but like I didn't find myself getting emotional as much as I thought I would from it. I was kind of a bit numb to it, but maybe it's because I've gone through my own like stuff like that. I've kind of just like shut myself off, but like reading the book as well, it's definitely like taught me some lessons that I can take with me. So I absolutely adored the book. And then obviously today I've started Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Obviously I'm not going to talk much about this book because it hasn't come out yet and it's an arc. So I'm on chapter 6, page 60. I'm in awe. So basically we have two characters. We have West and we have Skylar. So Skylar is actually a pop star and she's running away from something. On her first little arrival she meets West. West is a horse trainer, I think. I'm still trying to get the gist of it, but he's a rugged single father. Her whole series are based on single fathers, and actually West is Rosie's brother, who is the main character in the first book. But that is really the premise of the story. So single father, she is a pop star that is staying in the town, and yeah, that is all we know. Skylar already, she seems amazing. I absolutely love her. There's definitely something more deeper to her, and West is seeing through that facade very, very quickly. Let's just say that. I'm just enjoying it so much, and obviously we're only 60 pages through, but I've only been reading for the past like half an hour and I'm already that way through. But on my Kindle I read a lot quicker anyway, so my plan is to do a little more reading of that. But today I have a few things to do. I actually have a new wardrobe coming, so it's coming at 8 o'clock, so I'm going to be building that today. And I definitely want to read some more of this because I want to pause it down. I want to finish this by the end of this vlog. We have today and tomorrow to do reading because I feel like this week I've kind of just like not done a lot of reading. It's taken me 4 days to read this. I started on Monday, it's Saturday, and I finished on Friday. Yeah, enjoying it so far. I'm gonna keep on reading, so I'll give you guys hopefully an update this evening or tomorrow, I don't know. I'm planning to do a lot of reading this evening. I want to have like a nice cozy evening and kind of just like get into bed early. So my plan is to like get all my work done, and then maybe by 5 o'clock just chill for like the evening. Might put like some music on and chill, read on my Kindle, which is my favorite thing. And obviously the best thing about reading on a Kindle is I can read it at night time in the dark. I'm really excited. I'm gonna stop talking now. I just can't stop rambling because I'm procrastinating doing anything. But yeah, that is it for now, so I'll see you guys later. So my loves, and today is Sunday, which is the last day of this little vlog, and Saturday I don't think I gave you guys an update. I think maybe in the morning, but on Saturday I ended up reading 152 pages of Wild Eyes, and guys, this book, I'm enjoying it so much. Like, it's so cozy. West and Skylar, like, nothing's happened yet, and I can already feel the connection between these two. They're very comfortable with each other, and I just love that. I love Skylar. Obviously she's a pop star. We get to see a little bit more about her. She's definitely a very deep character. She has been brought up by parents who have like raised her to be a pop star. Obviously she's been a pop star since she was a child, and she's basically kind of been sheltered her whole life. So when certain things happen, she's now had to like depend on herself, which I love to see that and love to see her growth. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying her character. I find her so refreshing, and yeah, I just love her. And I also love like the little cameos, of course, of like all the other characters. We've just had a scene and they've like mentioned some other characters from the bowling club that Ford is a part of and Wes is a part of, and it basically mentioned two characters that I think might be the next book, just from the fact that they've mentioned it. In books they don't usually mention certain characters unless they might have like their own book. So I don't know, I could be totally off, I could be totally wrong, but that is what I'm thinking. And then today I've started reading some of Wild Eyes. I'm currently on page 178 so far. I've read about 36 pages and I'm kind of like in and out reading. I read a bit through my shower and then when I haven't just been watching Riverdale now eating. But I just love West and Skylar. Obviously West is a single dad as well. All the fathers or all the male characters in this new series are single fathers, which I am obsessed with because I love a good single father trope. And his children as well, they're just chef's kiss. I just love it and just love Skylar's like relationship with them as well. This whole series definitely feels like Heartless, like on repeat, but like different instances, like different plot lines, and it's just so refreshing. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this book so far. So I'm really excited to continue the story. Absolutely obsessed with this arc, and yeah, I'm gonna carry on reading for now, so I'll see you guys in a bit. I love you guys. You're still in. Back together. Yeah, that's true. Alright guys, I was just listening to Sabrina Carpenter's new album. The album is my lifeline, guys. It is my new favourite thing and I'm obsessed with it. I'm in my zone with that album. Everything that Sabrina Carpenter writes is a banger and I've been following her basically since I was a teenager. But anyways, that's not relating to this bit of the video, but today is actually Monday and I finished our last day of our vlog yesterday, but I thought I would give you guys my little review of Wild Eyes and to tell you guys a little bit about how many pages I read on Sunday. I don't know if I told you guys, on Saturdays when I started Wild Eyes and I started on page 152 and then on Sunday I read until it finished. Well, actually not until it finished. I got to page 358, so I had maybe 30 pages left and I thought I would leave it for today because I got really tired. And I read 200 pages on the Sunday and then today I read the remainder, which was about 30 pages of the book. So I have finished it now and let me just tell you guys this book, I'm obsessed with. Like, the ending alone made me just so giddy and I did get like a little bit like emotional. I didn't cry or anything, but I got a little bit emotional. And Elsie Silver, everything she writes is pure gold, and I had to actually write a few little notes to remind myself of things to say in regards to this book. So obviously I got this as an arc and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin it because it hasn't come out yet. Together I was obsessed with. It definitely reminded me of Heartless, which I absolutely adore because it's one of my favourite reads ever, and it was just so fun to read this book. It was so easy. I just loved the messages in this one as well. I think there was a level of vulnerability that we got from both characters that made it a little bit more interesting. This is like Wild Love. I loved it for the tension. I loved it for the like kind of enemies to lovers kind of trope, obviously brother's best friend kind of thing, whereas this one's very different. She's obviously new to the town. She's kind of just like getting her kind of groundings in where she is and dealing with a lot of her own trauma. And let's just say this, Wes and Skylar, these two together, I just love them. Even moments where it's not necessarily them talking or like no spies, it's just like they can enjoy each other's company without having to actually do anything with each other. They might just be doing something like, for example, he has horses, them just taking care of the horses, like them doing that, not even talking. Those moments I absolutely loved, but also the moments with him and her, but also her and his kids, them all together. Everything was just perfect in this book. I don't even know yet if this is better than Wild Love. It's different, but I love that. Like Elsie Silver, she's able to write the best single dad romance there is out there. Like I love the single dad trope because of her. So as well, what I loved about this book is like the vulnerability. Like these characters were able to be so vulnerable with each other, but feel like they weren't judged or to be ashamed. Them being able to have that level of vulnerability between them and not feel like ashamed or feel like each other's getting judged was just, I just loved that. I just loved that element of it. I feel like it made the story even better. I will say this book is slow burn, guys. It is slow burn. I was like gasping for like any form of like smart, because I could feel the sexual tension between these two, or that they're just so like flirty with each other that I was just like, come on guys, when is it going to happen? But I wasn't disappointed when it did. He's got a mouth of him. Daddy West has a mouth on him, and your girl was shocked. I loved it. In terms of rating, I don't really know yet. I'm stuck between maybe a 4.5 or even a 4.25. The only reason it wasn't like a 5 stars or 4.75 is because I just didn't have the 5-star feeling. I feel like I'm struggling recently to get a book that makes me feel like all the emotions that I want to give it a 5 stars. It's not necessarily the book's fault. And also I wish there was more between Rosie and Skylar, because they do become sort of whatnot friends, but we don't really get much of that, which I do understand, but I would have loved to see more of that, because I feel like friendships are such an important aspect of Elsie Silver's books. I think because she's trying to put out there a level of vulnerability within the characters, I feel like that's why she kind of maybe neglected it, but it wasn't neglected like fully. Like she did have her moments, but I just wish it was more of that. Also the kids as well. I found myself that when there were scenes with just them two, I was like, where's the kids? When's the kids come back? The kids made it even better. Like they felt like a family. It felt like something was missing when the kids weren't there. And yeah, I just love this book so much. It was so good. Thank you so much for Elsie Silver and the Periwinkle PR team for sending me this as an ARC. I'm gonna stop talking for now. That is it, and thoroughly enjoyed this book, and that is it for today's video. In total, I haven't actually added up how many pages I've read in total this week. I'm actually going to quickly do that, so BRB. In terms of how many pages I managed to read throughout this whole week, I read 833. I don't know if that was more or less than how many I read in the other video that I did, but for me that's pretty much standard, I would say. I feel like maybe it would be a little bit less if it was a working week. Some days I don't want to read, but this is definitely realistic of how much I read when I'm not working. And yeah, I'm just really happy with the amount that I did read, because I feel like it was a lot. I've had so many good reads this month, and I'm just excited for this video to come out. This video will probably be out after my wrap up, so you'll probably see me speak about it in the wrap up and then here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed reading this week, and I can't wait to see what next week brings me. I'm actually going to be jumping off now to be making a new video, so if you guys see me in the new video wear the exact same outfit. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like and a subscribe, and also share to all your friends. Follow my socials down in the description box. I hope you guys are okay. I love you guys so much. Stay blessed, and as I always say, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, my love.
Creo que estoy enamorada, porque cuando veo cosas muy bonitas pienso en ti como un cabecillo.